Why I don't ride carbon BMX race frames. Now this video is not to say that I'll never ride a carbon frame. If you see me in a carbon frame, don't send me this video because I know that because then I'll be an idiot at that point. But this is why I just don't currently ride a carbon BMX frame. So first off, they're very expensive. I don't know if you ever looked at carbon BMX frames, even a cruiser version, they're not cheaper. You normally get forks with them if the brand is nice. You probably get them for like £1,600-1,700, which is a lot of flipping money, let alone when some frames don't even have the forks with them, so you'd have to buy carbon forks on top of the frame price, and then everything else that you need for a bike. Because I don't know if you know that, but even just with forks and a frame, you can't ride the bike. Probably my biggest issue with carbon frames is they snap. The carbon is very strong unless it's cracked, and then it's game over. And all the crashes I've seen, they look like they hurt when the carbon frame snaps because you don't know it's coming, whereas a crash that you cause, you sort of know it's coming because you've messed up. But if the bike fails, then you don't know that's coming. That's just going to happen. Mainly I've only seen like the head tube snaps off the front of it, so the forks go, the front end goes, so as soon as you land, the front end just washes away, and then you're going to land on your face, so it's not great. Now carbon frames do look very nice. That is one of the only reasons I would have one. I don't really care about the weight, because once you get into top end BMX race frames, there's not really much weight difference unless you're going carbon. But with all the alley frames, they're pretty good, they're fine. Like from my Yes to my pure BMX, there's not much difference in weight, and I don't really notice it. It's just the geometries you sort of notice, whereas a carbon frame is just going to be lighter. It's not going to be any different, especially if you're going from like a radio alley frame to a radio carbon frame. You're not going to notice that. You're not going to notice about the geometry, you're going to notice about how light it is. You're not going to notice the geometry, you are going to notice how light it is then. Carbon frames look very nice. When I think about carbon frames, it's similar to when I've got my carbon forks on my race BMX now, my cruiser. It's just like paranoia for me, because every now and then, every sort of month or so, I'll have to take the front end apart and just check the carbon's all right. It sounds quite sentimental, but it's not like that. I don't want a crack to be in there and me to come up short on anything and hear a crack or hear a noise. Any noise I hear from the bike, generally I'm worried, but especially if it's from the carbon forks, I'm not happy. So if I had a whole carbon frame, so everything is attached to the carbon, then I'm not going to be a fan of that. Then that's not going to help my paranoia when riding. The new carbon frames do have like little touches, like the built-in chain tensioners that are really good. So little bits like that, where then it's got like internal cable routing for the brake cable, which is good until you have to take that out and put it back in. Then you're not going to get it back in, but then it's going to be a struggle to get that back in. But little things like that that are sort of more road racing, because they've had carbon bikes longer, so there's all these little bits that have come from road racing, which it all looks nice and sleek, but it's a lot of hassle if you're actually maintaining your own bike. So pretty much the main reason why I don't ride carbon frames is because of how me hearing any noise from the bike, because as I said, if I know that everything's attached to the carbon, then it's a bad idea for me. At least with my current frame, I know just the forks are carbon, so that's the only thing that's sort of risky. I know carbon is stronger. That's a positive from carbon. Carbon is stronger, but obviously when it's cracked and when it gets a little hairline or anything in it, it's at risk of going quite heavily bad. So yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, click the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
The roof don't drop, so we poking out of the sunroof. No AC, no MP3s, only CDs. Tell me what you want to do. If I don't make it, please don't fake it. You got me if I got you. I got this spot too that I go to when the sun is up, the grass is green. There ain't no TV screen, only blue skies. Please use your imagination, tell me what you dream. And I picture you when I on the scene. But are you snapping? Cause I ain't getting cream from serving packets on the block to fiend.